So I think it's all about instinct, listening to that gut,
Good.
also watching him and how, or him or her, and how they treat other people as well as yourself. I think that's so important because if you're...
Welcome back to the Love Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Charlene Byars. I am so excited to welcome my next guest to the show today. Afi, West African-born, London-raised digital creator who uses her platform to educate and inspire others living with type 1 diabetes, showing that the diagnosis is not the end, but the beginning of a more mindful life. She's also the founder of her Scottsdale-based styling consulting business, Afi Like Taffy, where she helps clients dress for their higher selves and show up confidently for every occasion. I am so excited for you to hear Afi's incredible love story and all the obstacles that she went through to create the life of her dreams, and how great love is possible for all of us. We just need to have faith and belief. And remember, stick around for the tip of the week at the end of the show. Welcome to Love Stories, a relationship podcast for successful women, where we talk about love, dating, relationships, and how great love stories are made. I'm Charlene Byars, and I'm so excited to share all the things that you can apply to create a beautiful love story of your own. Cheers to great love. Well, hello, Afi. How you doing? Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited. I know we just had a little chuckle right now because I was really wanting to get your name correctly. Why? How do you say your name?
Afi.
Afi.
Afi Like Taffy.
Afi Like Taffy.
Yeah.
Okay, I did it.
Yay!
Yay! I was like, okay, you guys, I want to make sure I say Afi's name correctly.
Thank you.
But first of all, thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yes, I was so excited because when I was thinking about having, our guests, and we have different guests come on to the show, and when we thought about having a woman who has had success in her careers, but has been through so much, I know I'm going to learn all about that today, but also has had success in her relationship and her love story. And I just thought, oh my goodness, you are on it. No pressure. But the perfect guest today, because I want women to understand that love is available to all of us, and we can have a successful career, but we can also have success in our marriages, in our relationships. So you are the epitome of that. So I'm so excited. So thank you for being here.
Cheers for having me.
Thank you. But before we really get started, I would love to hear a little bit about how you grew up, where you grew up. And let's just start from there.
Brilliant. I just want to say congratulations on this amazing podcast, by the way. And thank you for your patience in coordinating the schedules, because I really, really appreciate you. So thank you for having me. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there and keep going.
Thank you so much. Yeah, because you're a busy woman. Yeah, we were just lucky to have you here. She travels, does all the things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So my origin story really began, I was actually born in West Africa, Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where my family's from. My dad still lives there. And my mother died at a young age. So my dad, had to remarry right away because he had 7 children already.
So your mom and your dad had 7 kids?
Yes.
7
kids.
My goodness.
3 sets of twins.
3 sets of twins?
Yeah, all my full blood brothers and sisters are twins. I'm the only one that came alone.
Wow. So where are you? So
number 5.
So number 5. So they had 3 sets of twins.
2 sets before me and 1 after me. And I'm number 5. So basically, this is really crazy. My mom got pregnant first time.
Okay.
They assumed they were just going to have 1 child. Within 3 months, my brother was hiding behind my sister. So he was conceived. So just so you know, you can get pregnant while you're pregnant.
Wow. I had no idea. I'm a mother of twins. Yes, I'm a mother of twins. And I had no idea. I mean, it's totally interesting because I have I have singletons.
Yes,
singletons. And then I have twins. And I have a boy and a girl. And I actually didn't know that. I didn't even know that. I mean, you know what? No, actually, let me take that back. I remember there was hold on. There was a story that, because I have, this is fascinating. I have a boy and a girl twin. So that technically means that your mom, she dropped an egg, it got fertilized, and then there was a period of time that she dropped another egg that
Exactly.
Wow.
And it was Africa in the 70s. And by the way, they had no idea they were having twins. My mother gave birth to my sister first, full grown. And then she kept having palpitations. And they were like, there's another one in there.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Which was insane. So my brother had been hiding behind my sister the entire time whenever they did, ultrasound. I mean, the equipment was bad.
It was back then.
So basically, my mother gave birth to my brother and he was 3 months premature.
Really?
So he had to be put in an incubator. They were worried he was going to pass away because he wasn't strong enough. But he fought through, and still to this day, my sister's like 5'10" and he's 5'3". So literally it worked out. Yeah. Okay. But it's crazy. But they are twins. Yeah. 3 months he was conceived, like literally after she was. So
no, that's an incredible story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, that is. I mean, like, and even saying, like, I'm a twin mom, and I'm like, wow, I can't even imagine that.
Literally, we couldn't either. So my parents were like, what do we do? And my uncle was like, I'll help you. So they were like, okay. But my mom, being very traditional African, she was like, I want to give you a healthy son. So they were like, they get pregnant again. They find out this time they're having twins. And they're like, what are we going to do? Oh my God. They were like, we can't handle it. My uncle's like, I will help you. God gave you this gift. You take care of it. Yeah. Right. So they had the girls and my mom's still like, I want to give you a healthy boy. Because that's what they did back in Africa. And it's very traditional. So they get pregnant again and they have just me. And they're like, we have one kid. Literally. And then, so I'm like the only one basically. So my full name is actually Afiniki.
Okay.
And in my culture, it means my own, my only. And my grandmother gave me that name because it meant that in our language. So I have such a
you were the one and the only. The one and the only. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about that. So now So now your mama bear and your dad have all these kids, and then they have you as a baby. And what ends up happening with your mama?
Unfortunately, after I got, my mother had me, she had another set of twins, and she had them full grown, boy and girl. She passed away literally like a week after. She unfortunately was allergic to penicillin, and the doctor gave it to her, and she went into shock and died.
So they didn't know. No. They didn't know that she was, and back then,
it was so bad, yeah. So, it was like this whole kind of almost like a scandal, but to some extent, it was just really horrific because none of us knew what had happened really.
Right.
My dad, spoke to the hospital. There was a whole investigation about the doctor. All I know is that the hospital shut down.
Okay.
And then on top of that, we were left without our mother. And me being 6 years old at the time.
So you were 6, as I was going to ask you. Okay, so you're 6 years old. So you're like, what just happened?
Oh my goodness. I was just like, what just happened? Where's my mom? Yeah. And everyone was like, she's gone away. And I was like, and I felt abandoned. I was like, why did she leave me?
Right.
Like, I need her. Where is she? I kept looking for her. And they kept saying, she's gone to heaven. I was like, but why can't she come back? So I didn't fully understand that. And my dad at the time, he sent my older brother and sister to school in England.
Okay.
Because he was like, they're going to get better education and I can't handle all the kids here. So I was there with the 2 new twins.
The 2 new twins.
Yeah. And I was resentful of them. I was like, why are they here? Why do they keep crying? Because I was the youngest.
Right. And where's mom?
Exactly.
And where's mom? And
yeah. So it was like this whole thing and I grew up. I was on my own for pretty much like the whole time. I mean, we had a nanny, which was nice. My uncle, again, really helped out. But then eventually I got to go to England and I got to be with the older ones who I'd grown up with.
How old were you when you actually went?
8.
You were 8 years old.
So I went to boarding school when I was 8 years old.
8 years old. So from 6 to 8, what was dad? Like, was he just checked out? Was he just trying to do, I mean, honestly, devastated, right?
The love of his life that he met when he was 9, she was 19, he was 21, they got married that young. So he was devastated and then he just didn't know what to do. Sad thing of it is that he just basically married the next person.
He did.
So it was just easier. And he married this woman and honestly, she was probably the worst thing that ever happened.
The worst thing happened, right?
Yeah.
How old were you when he married her?
When I was 8.
Okay. Okay. So now you are, a couple of years are going by. You're probably just, what just happened? What's going on?
She's not.
And
my mom.
Did your brother and sister already leave?
Yeah, they'd already.
Okay, so not only you lost your mom and dad, your mom,
exactly.
Then your brother and sister, who you probably relied on because they were older than you, and then now you're like, I don't know what to do with these 2. Yeah. And then you go. Then what was the dynamics for you as a little girl going to boarding school? Wow, mama.
Yeah.
Going to boarding school at 8 years old.
Well, at first I felt abandoned. And then honestly, after we moved to England, after I moved to England, I was actually relieved because I got to be with my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
And they were the ones that I'd grown up with, that I was aware of with this woman, you know, that my dad had married. She'd been around our house for a while. I'd seen her. She was like our computer teacher.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, I didn't trust her. I didn't know. But going to England, I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it because I felt like it was Harry Potter without the magic.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So at 8 years old, you're like, even though you just went through tragedy.
Exactly.
I mean,
the trauma.
Wow.
Yeah, it was trauma.
That was trauma.
Yeah.
There was a relief for you because you get to go do something new,
and
get out of,
be
with my brothers and sisters. Okay, what was the dynamic like that?
So, well, that's the thing. So, you know, in boarding school, it's very strict. English boarding schools, you know, you have your meals.
What is that like? No, really, what is it like?
For me, it was a lifesaver.
Okay.
And I loved it because there was strategy. They helped you be independent. They taught you how to fold your clothes, take care of your bed, your things. They taught you respect, no elbows on the table, all the different things. And I remember the first night, because I always laugh at that. I told this. So the first night, you know, they put 8 girls in a dormitory, and then you have like a prefect, which is like an older student that's maybe 16. And they like monitor us.
Okay.
So the first night, I hear people crying, and they're like, and then everyone starts crying. So I'm just like, oh my God, what's going on? So therefore, like, you know, the prefect is like, Rachel, why are you crying? And then Rachel's like, I miss my mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Susan, why are you crying? She was like, I miss my dog Spot.
Oh.
And they were like, and Afiniki, why are you crying? I was like, I don't know. I love it here. I'm just crying because everyone else
No,
is.
you didn't.
Yeah, literally.
They're probably like,
yeah.
This one actually had more trauma and she's happy? Or like, what is going on here?
Literally, they were like, this one's an oddball. And
you're like, well, they're crying, I'm crying, but I'm happy.
Literally. And they were like, oh my God, there's something up with this one. And I was so happy.
Hilarious.
And I loved boarding school.
So you had a great experience with boarding school.
Experience. Yeah. I got to do all my activities. I learned that I was really good at athletics.
Okay.
And my family were all athletic. They called us the Danjuma 5. That's my maiden name.
Okay.
Because the 5 of us would win every race. When I say every race, 100 meters, 200 meters, 500 meters, relay, shot put. Athletics.
That was like your jam.
Yeah. We just loved it. Yeah. And then we thrived, and we got like, people loved us for it too. And, and our headmaster like favored us because of it. And he actually put our school fees down because we were winning him medals, and he loved sports and competing.
No, for real.
Oh yeah, Mr. Gollop is his name. So yeah, it was such a whirlwind, and just to be introduced to like other people, and I found
other
out
people.
That like one of the ladies in my dorm, her name was like Ronette Falcone, and she was like,
oh wow,
the third cousin of like a Russian oligarch.
Oligarch, something,
exactly, something like that, very regal. And I was just like, wow, Ronette.
Wow.
You know, but it was insane. Just being around that, because I didn't fully understand it until I left. Till we moved to England, back to London, to boarding, to day school.
Okay, so you're in boarding school from 8 years old
to 12.
To 12 years old, and then what happens after that?
12 to 18, I went back to London. My dad was like, okay, the boarding school thing, we're going to try and doing day school because I want you guys to be in London because you need to get like street smart kind of thing. Because we were just like,
yeah. Because you guys are so structured. Exactly. Okay.
So we didn't really have any like street smart. So we went to school, and actually I met some of my best friends that I actually just saw in Austin, Texas.
Get out of
here. So, and I was in a musical group. I found these 2 girls. Okay. They were also loved music, and we would sing in a harmonizing group. It was called Unique, but then we found out someone else had a name called Unique.
So Unique,
so we turned it In Harm's Way with a Z at the end.
Okay.
But we would do like, you know, we'd like sing, dance, we do all sorts of like choreography. And actually we were in the same school as Amy Winehouse, if you know who she is.
Yes.
So she was in our school, the Mount School.
Was it a theater type of school?
Funnily enough, no, but it was very heavy on that.
Okay.
It was mostly educational. We had brown uniforms. They did English, all the things, but music was our passion, and that's what we thrived on. That's what we loved. So therefore, Amy came to that, and she was like very good at writing poems, and we would do school concerts.
And school concerts with her. Okay, so let me ask you this then. So I just heard a little bit about how early on you really enjoyed like running and athletics and all that kind of stuff. And then now you were talking about, you know, then you go to another school, but you're wearing the brown uniforms and all this stuff, but you love the dancing and the theater and all that. Where did this fashionista come out of? Like, seriously? Because you guys, you don't even know this yet, but because I'm like listening to this, because there was something, where did this come from? Yeah.
Funnily enough, if we just revert, when I was about 6 to 8, when I lived in Nigeria, so my dad, because I was the only one. He would take me places with him.
Okay.
So he would go to these ateliers, places that created, customized suiting.
Really?
Because my dad was trying to schmooze his clients. He'd travel a lot.
Okay, so he was really into
all about fabric
and
patterns, structure,
nice.
And just helping elevate himself so that he could look the people in his eye and show them how he could make them basically money.
Yeah.
And I would go with him. So I would watch, I would think, and then when he would...
So you're just a little girl.
Oh, yeah. I was just a little girl. And
so you're fascinated by this.
I was fascinated. Okay. And plus, I came alone, so my dad was like, you know what? You guys I'll just take Afi.
Okay.
So everyone would be like, oh, you're his favorite. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But I totally was.
Yeah, because you were.
Yeah, he'd be like, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
like, we know. In front of my brother and sister.
Yeah, they're like, we know, Dad.
Exactly,
yeah, whatever.
Right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, just being exposed to that at such a young age, and then watching the suits come to the house, or my dad going to pick them up, and just wearing them, and how he just felt so suave. He had like a different swagger. That confidence was like on another level. And I was just
really
like,
does.
I want to do that. I want to look like that. And I was like, I have to work hard because I have to do something with that.
Because there was something there. There was like,
definitely. I would style my brothers and sisters for church. I'd be like, ooh, let's try
No,
this.
you did not.
Yeah, I know. I know, like really, like the most shapeless dresses. But that was when you were young, you didn't know.
That's, yeah.
But either way, I'd be like, yeah. And I had this favorite, like, there's a picture I have when I was like 8, and I have this like fitted, like hot pink, like with roses, like a skirt made of roses dress. And I was obsessed with it. I would want to wear it every day. And they'd be like, you can't wear that. That's not right. You need to be washed. I'm like, no, I want to wear it every
You're
day.
like, I want to wear it.
Exactly. So,
How did that, like, really, when, and I feel, just my impression when it comes to like fashion and stuff like that, it is really, truly an example of like how we feel inside and how we want to be and how we want to present. I just think it's amazing to be able to express yourself, with fashion. Yes. And I really believe this with all my heart too. It changes everything. It changes your posture. It changes how you approach things. When you really feel good about yourself and you feel, you're wearing something that just, you just love, right? I love that.
Yes.
How was that happening for you? So you love fashion. You're in this artistic school, but it's really a public school, but you're having to wear brown uniforms. I mean, was that like just hurting your heart?
Of course, it was just hurting my heart, definitely. And I would bring a change of clothes. Like if we were going to special events, afterwards, I would bring a change of clothes. I'd have it in my backpack so I could change into like whatever, my crop top or my cargo pants, and like put on my lipstick and like have my accessories. But I always had like a backup outfit.
Okay, so you did. Okay.
Oh yeah, because I was just like, hell no. Like
you're like, I ain't doing that. You're not doing that.
Definitely.
Okay, so now you're okay. So now you're about 12 years old and you go to this regular school and that one goes all the way to
18, where I went to university after that.
Okay, so university. Now, during this time, let's say when you're more in high school age, where was your mindset when it came to boys and relationships? Would you say that you were early on, a woman that really fancied the boys early, or not so much? What was that like for you?
Well, it's funny you said that because during my formative years, when I was like 8 to 12 at boarding school, it was a mixed boarding school, so it was boys and girls.
Oh, it was. Okay.
So I had my first boyfriends then. I kissed my first boy.
You did?
But that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
So by the time I got to day school, unfortunately, my dad would my stepmother would stay at home a lot more.
Okay.
And she was emotionally unbalanced, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So on top of that, she was drinking heavily and she was unhappy.
And she was unhappy.
So, yeah.
Did she have any kids of her own?
Yes, she did. She had my 2 brothers who I love so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so when she was there, she would put the fear of God in us.
She would.
Yeah. And I think she told me that she was raised by her stepmother, who I believe was abusive to her.
So
she grandfathered into us. So we were called names. She would put the fear of God in us, and things that you.
It
would
was
never
not good.
No, it was the most unhealthiest, most emotionally abusive time of my life.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there was a lot of trauma there from that, because I felt like the woman who replaced my mother was an evil being.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she would. Where was your dad during this time?
He was traveling a lot.
So he not really.
He'd kind of like left the ball because he'd realized that she wasn't a good person, and she was pretty much motivated, I think, by wealth.
By wealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was beautiful. And that's the thing that people make the mistake. When they see someone beautiful, they assume that they're beautiful on the inside. But she was just rotten to the core. To the core.
Yeah. So physically she, looked fantastic.
She looked gorgeous.
But no, she just was not a good person.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
and Was it a situation that, did your dad maybe know about it, or you think he kind of was just so busy and tried to ignore it? Or was she different, when around you guys? What was really the dynamic there?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes someone who knows deep people to actually ask that question. So thank you for asking that. So it was a mixed bag. She was very strategic in how she dealt with us. Okay. It was more of a divide and conquer. She would tell us one thing about our dad, make us scared and keep us away, and then tell him one thing about us. And then when we would go to him and be like, hey, she's doing this, he would believe us. Because she had already laid the ground. She knew what she was doing.
She was very manipulative.
Exactly, because that had happened to her. That's what was done to her. So she knew the strings to pull. Yeah. And it was a constant battle of like us trying to tell our dad, but him not believing. And she was all about control, but she was at another level. She would, I talk about this, on my website, but she was so, what's the word? She was so like diminutive in her mindset. Yes. She would go to voodoo doctors and get black powder. And this black powder was basically something that she would live by. She would put it in our food. She would actually get razor blades and cut us. Like, I don't know if you see these two cuts right here. I have these two lines.
She was demonic.
Yeah, she would cut us and then put the black powder on to take away the evil from us. Wow. Yeah. And she would be the first person in church, the front row, praise Jesus. And then she would go in our back garden at night and bath naked under the moon with this black powder she got from some witch doctor.
Oh, she had demonic spirits. 100%.
Oh, definitely.
That sounds completely demonic. Literally. Like that, right?
Yes.
And your dad, again, your dad is not really understanding the depths of this woman, or you think as time went by, he started?
Oh, he started to.
He did, okay.
He did, because then she started to attack him.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. And that was right when I was about to head off to leave for college.
Okay.
Yeah. But it took a while. But to answer your question about my relationship with men, I was scared of them.
That's what I was scared of, yeah.
I was so scared of them because she was just like, if you touch a man, you will get pregnant. And then we'll chuck you out and we'll leave you on the streets.
Oh, so she put the fear.
Oh, yeah.
She made it so bad.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
You're like, I can't even, no. Like, no. Okay. And then you didn't have, and then at the time, and again, we're not blaming anybody, but it's just, it was your situation. But then you didn't really have your dad,
to tell me any of that.
To tell you any of that, stepping up and really guiding you. So you were probably seriously thinking, oh no.
Oh, definitely.
Oh no, I'm not doing this thing.
Oh,
okay, so how did that play effect in, because you did like the boys, but you were afraid of the boys.
I was so afraid of them. I was scared that if they touched me or if they even like came near me, I would get pregnant.
Right, yeah.
And that's the thing. And there were so many opportunities that I could have gone that way, but I remained a virgin till I was 21 years old.
You were. Okay, yeah, you're like.
because I was scared. That's fear, how much,
I remember my girlfriend too, like she was so afraid too. She was like, I ain't going to do anything like that, because I don't know really her backstory, but I remember her thinking, no, I'm going to get pregnant.
Exactly.
I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get pregnant. And I think my parents too, I mean, they're very dramatic. Seriously, I honestly kind of thought, it wasn't like, it was a different message, but I remember thinking too, we didn't talk about sex.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about any of that stuff. But it was like, you talk to a boy, you get pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I'm going to get pregnant just talking to a boy. Okay, wow, everyone, how do you get pregnant then? I don't even know.
I can't.
Oh, I can't. Okay. So now you're going to college, and when you were going to go to college and you're over there, what were you thinking? What did you think at the time that you wanted to do? What was your desire?
Sure. So I actually studied media studies from age 18 to 21. I went outside of like London, and I was the first one out of my siblings, by the way, who was allowed. So that cinched that I was my dad's favorite right from the start, because he didn't let anyone live outside of home. Outside of London. So I was just like, I just want to get my degree. I want to do something amazing. And I did media studies, which had like stuff in the media, like script writing, television, all the things. Like,
that's what you're interested in.
Yeah, music and the media. But I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I enjoy it.
Okay.
So that's what I did.
And how old are you now at this age?
18 to 21.
18 to 21. Yeah. Okay. So then we talked about, you said something about 21.
Yeah.
So what shit, right? Because you were single. You really haven't had yourself a boyfriend.
Well, I actually did have a boyfriend when I turned 20.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's go there. So now you're shifting. You're getting a little older. And
away from home.
Away from home.
That toxic relationship.
Away from the toxic relationship. Yeah. And what did you think about relationships at that time? Were you thinking that I did want a boyfriend? You weren't sure? Did you think that maybe I want to get married, or was that not even in your view? What was that like for you?
So at the time, because of the toxicity of my parents' relationship, seeing them argue and then the unhappiness. And unfortunately, we found my dad was like going around with other women.
Okay.
And that's when she started to attack him, my
Okay.
stepmother.
Yep.
So therefore, I was just like, I do not want to get married. I was like, nope.
Nope.
I'm not getting married. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to have a relationship. And then this guy's going to fuck off. Like, I was
Yeah,
like,
you're
that's
like,
it.
I'm
Yeah,
done. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I'm like, if
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
So I was so anti any
Okay.
of that. But at the same time, my friends had boyfriends and they were hanging out. And I was like, and then I had a couple of boyfriends and
Okay.
I told them, I was like, just so you know, I'm not going to give up my virginity to you. And they were like, what? I was like, right from the start, don't even try.
Yeah, don't even try.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Literally,
Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
I actually had a boyfriend break up with me so he could sleep with this presenter that was coming into town. And then he tried to get back with me afterwards.
Oh, no.
And I was like,
Oh.
we're done,
You're
Bob.
like, buddy,
Yeah.
no, buddy, it
Mhm.
doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now you had this mindset. You were just, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get
Mhm.
that. You were just like, no, I'm not interested
Mhm.
in, the actual marriage, all that. I'm just going to have a
Exactly.
good time.
Mhm.
I'm just going to do whatever I did. So what ends up happening?
I know. Funnily enough,
What happened, girlfriend?
I met a guy who completely enthralled me.
For real.
Someone who I just was just like, there was like, tingles. There was like an awakening.
An awakening.
Yes. And everything about him, like, talked to my soul. I guess he kind of spoke to my soul. And
Did
he
you
was the
know
one.
this, like, at the time where you're like wondering what is happening
Well,
to
at
me?
first
What
it
did
was-
it feel
yeah.
like for
Well,
you?
at first it was lust.
Okay.
And then I got to know him and I was like, oh my God, like, I'm in love with him.
You were in love with
And
him.
he was just visiting. He was an American visiting England, Europe for the first time.
Why was he there?
He was there. He had British friends who'd gone to ASU.
Okay.
And they went back home to England. So he went to go visit them.
Okay.
And met me literally his first week in Europe. And
how did you guys meet actually?
a student union. So in England, you can drink when you're 18.
Oh.
So we were at the student union and I was there consoling one of my friends. She slept with some guy and she was pissed off about.
Okay,
So I was,
okay.
just being there for her. And then all I heard was like, can I put my drink on your table? And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, And I didn't even pay
you're like,
attention.
yeah.
But then the guy, I could feel like a presence behind me. I was like, is someone still there? And then I was like, oh shoot, he's really hot. I was like, he's so hot. I know. And then literally, And then he asked me to dance. And I was like, I'm sorry, I have to stay with my friend. I'm here to support her.
So you had immediate traction.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then, funnily enough, when I said no, my friend was like, oh, please go dance with him. I already know you were checking him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like,
Oh, yeah.
looking back now, I know I don't have him here, but I am
Yeah.
curious. What does he say when he first met you? What is his...
Oh, funnily enough, he was like, do you know I'm American? And I was like, oh God. I was just like, really? You're going to go with that? And he was like laughing. He goes, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I can already hear.
I can tell you're American.
Of course. But
Okay.
It was hilarious because he was cracking jokes the whole time. And then when we did dance, he was like doing all these weird moves. And I just kept laughing because I was just like, are you
Because
for
he
real?
was just totally...
Exactly. Just didn't care about how silly he looked. He was just so open.
Just free and
Yeah.
open and
And
stuff.
just-
And have
yeah.
you experienced a guy like
No,
that before? Okay.
definitely not.
Okay.
The ones I'd experienced did the two-step and they were like,
Yeah. And now you're like, I got this American
Exactly.
guy. And
And
he's
tall
like,
and
he's
dark and
totally
handsome.
like handsome.
Oh,
and
yeah.
wow.
Oh, definitely. And then, yeah. go
Okay.
ahead.
So then, so Mama Bear is, having a good time. She's, like, wow, this is different. I liking this. You're dancing. You're interested in this guy.
Mhm.
But you told me he's from America.
Yes. So I knew he was going back.
So you knew he was going
Yeah.
back.
And
Okay.
to some extent, that might have been the reason why I fell so far, so hard. Because I was just like, we only have this time. And he extended his trip
He did.
by 2 weeks because we fell in love.
You did.
Yes. And we had this impending thing and he had his tickets booked and that was the only time he could spend, in Europe. So literally at the airport, when he had to leave, we were both crying. We were
COVID, this must have been
Yeah.
crazy because
Dude.
you already knew
Oh, yeah.
before that I don't want to be married. You kind of had that
Exactly.
block.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to be with the man.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden it was so powerful for you
Exactly.
that you're like, I can't.
I don't know how I'm going to live without this person. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we were bawling our eyes out. And we were like, we're going to make this work. Something's going to happen. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen.
Okay.
So we're just like, okay, how are we going to do this? So,
And how old are you now?
I am 21,
And how old was he?
25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So literally he's from Arizona,
Yeah.
So basically what it is that we got calling cards. We would speak every day via text, Skype. And we would just speak to each other because we were just like, we were in love. We're like,
yeah, because back then we didn't have,
we didn't have
the cell phones. 'Cause
Yeah.
how long you guys been together?
we'd been together probably about 5-6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, now.
Like,
how long?
we've been married for 17 years.
Yeah, so back
Yeah.
then we didn't have
We barely had Skype. Skype had just come on.
Okay, Skype. Okay.
So, but that was it. Like, and that was expensive and it was hard to get. And, it was a whole situation.
The whole ding, ding, ding. I was like, what is up with that? That was like, that was so hard.
Yes,
okay. So you guys were actually doing the Skype thing.
We were doing the Skype thing. We were doing it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So basically we were doing
What happened here then?
So after 5 months.
So he goes 5 months. Okay.
5 months. Yeah. We're back and forth talking.
But you're not seeing each other?
Nope. Just through Skype.
Oh, through the Skype. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then we find out my cousin is getting married in Santa Barbara.
Oh.
Yes. But we're like, oh my God, you're coming. Like, he's like, are you coming? I was like, yes, we're coming. He goes, I'm coming. I'm going to meet all your friends. And I'm going to meet your family. And you could, and then I'm going to see everyone at the wedding. And I was like, oh my God, yes, you have to come.
Yeah.
So we've been like looking forward to it, everything. And I just remember just like telling my dad that, I'd met someone and all this stuff. And it was so comical because at the time I think I was like 21. Yeah, so I'm 21 at the time. 21 and a half. I told my dad about that and he was just like, he started to give me the sex talk at 21.
No, he did not.
Yes.
No, he did not.
And my dad has a very thick like Nigerian accent.
Okay.
So he was like, and I'll do it for you because it was
do it.
He was like, when you meet a man, make sure you use a condom. And I was like, a condom? And he was like, yes, a condom. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Daddy, please no.
Dad, just stop. Literally. Like, that's my God. Not, oh my goodness. He tried.
Yeah, he tried.
He tried. I got to give her something. I got to give her something. Okay, here we go. Exactly. Here we go.
And I was like, oh no.
No, Dad, this is not comfortable.
Literally. No. So that was the most awkward thing. And I remember sweating like in his office, in his in the house, and I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're like, Dad, stop.
And the whole time, by the way, he was saying this, he wasn't even looking me in the eye. He was kind of like, a condom. And I think like looking away because it was awkward for him to say, but it's awkward for me to say it. And I was like, oh my God.
No. Okay, that was his introduction.
Exactly. So,
did you was your husband now, was he your first?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, my one and only.
Your one and only. Yes. Oh, that is amazing. So I know there's a little side note. Yesterday, my husband and I, we are marriage facilitators for premarital. So people that are getting premarital. Yes. So we have, usually it's couples that, through the church and they're young and, about 21, 22. And literally yesterday at the Cheesecake Factory, we get to meet another couple because we go through them and go through the curriculum and stuff like that. Yeah. But they're, just freshness and, and they're virgins and they're excited about marriage. And it just, like, I wanted to tell them so wholeheartedly. And I did. And I poured so much love into them and tell them, how amazing everything is. But what I loved about them is that they were basically doing everything together for the first time. They're both obviously going to get married for this first time together. They're graduating from college together.
How old are they?
They're like 21, 22. And so then we were, talking about the purity agreement. And they're like, oh yeah, we're virgins. And, and we're like, all right, okay, cool. And I was just thinking of that because I thought, when you really find someone and you find that person, that alignment, people have this, they have this perception. They think that you have to go and be physical with all these people. I think that is such a disempowering thing to tell people because it gets complicated, it gets messy. You connect with people, and especially, sexually like that. And what really matters is finding the right person, So, oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow. Girlfriend. So, okay. So then, okay. So now you go to this wedding.
Yes.
And you guys haven't seen each other in person for 5 months. So it's like 5 years. You're like, oh my goodness, you're just dying. Exactly. No, seriously.
Oh, yes.
What was that like, Mama?
Oh my goodness. It was.
Oh my God, I'm getting like little chills. Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was like my birthday and Christmas all at once.
Totally.
Yeah, literally. And we were just like holding each other and we were like crying.
Was it on fire still?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. And then it was just so nice. And we kept saying how nice it is to see each other.
Yes.
And it kept saying that. Like, it was so nice to see your face and touch your face. And then, and then I was like, but first of all, you have to come meet my family.
Okay. Yeah.
So, of course, I have all these siblings.
Okay.
So my dad, comes in the hotel and he like my boyfriend, sorry, at the time,
Who's your boyfriend?
Yes, yeah, so my boyfriend at the time. He comes into the hotel and he meets all my family, and they're like, they're like, oh hi, and then all of a sudden I noticed my older sister has a video camera, and I'm like, I was like, Mary, what are you doing? She was like, I just want to record. She goes, I want to ask some questions, and then she goes to my boyfriend. She's like, are you a rapper? And I started laughing, and I was just like, what a question to ask, Mary. That's so weird.
Why did she think he was a rapper?
Oh, wait for it.
Okay.
So anyway, so he meets my dad, and my dad's asking him, like, and he literally says, my dad says in front of my brother, so he goes, you're taking away my favorite, right?
Yeah, the favorite.
And then Zach's like, are you guys okay? And they're like, oh, we're so used to it.
Yeah.
So we're laughing. And then basically, we go off. And then later when I saw my sister, I was like, why were you filming Zach and asking her that? She goes, Daddy asked me to film him just in case you go missing when you go visit him in Arizona.
They're like, we want to make sure we have proof of him. Oh my goodness.
So like my dad,
goodness.
he's like, because he's from the streets of like Nigeria. Like he knows. Like
he knows.
Yeah, so he was just like, let's get footage of this guy just in case. Because I was going to go see him in Arizona.
Go to Arizona. Yeah.
So it was hilarious. I was laughing.
Oh, that's funny. So what did they think of him actually?
They were like, wow, he's really jokey. He's really tall.
He's really jokey and tall.
But they were like,
he's American.
Exactly. Oh yeah. They were like, he's totally your type. Apparently.
They did.
Yeah. So my
how did they know?
Well, I wrote like this thing of like my type of guy.
Okay, let's talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it when I was like maybe 12 years old with my friends who I just went to see in Austin. They married American men, by the way, too.
They did?
Yeah.
You guys all married American men?
Yeah, all three of us.
Okay, all three of you.
So they said, and my friend Alicia, she was just like, Afi, she goes, he is your type to the T. She was like, how you wrote everything about what you wanted in a guy, tall, dark, handsome, jokey, all this, like everything. She was like, you literally found your perfect guy.
Wow.
I know. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah. So anyway, it was just, it was like a godsend because so many things like clicked. But like, the wedding that we went to ended up not happening because the bride changed her mind.
No.
Yes.
No. Oh, she had some drama here. That's good drama. So you guys flew all the way here for this wedding. Who was supposed to be getting married?
It was my cousin.
Your cousin. Yeah. So you guys flew here, and then of course you're like, okay, well now you get to meet my boyfriend, and everything's good. But then you guys had drama.
Oh yeah. But the best thing for us, we were so happy with that.
You were. Tell me why.
We was happy because we got to spend more time together. The drama. We want to spend more time together, which was the best. So
which was amazing because then you weren't busy with the wedding.
Exactly. So I got to be in Arizona longer. So because after the wedding, I was going to drive to Arizona with my husband now. And meet his family. And meet his friends.
So you guys were going really fast.
Yes. Oh, yes.
During this time, and I know that you said that you just feeling this and stuff like that. And I know that you said earlier, you didn't really, when you were young, you put the perfect guy. And then as you got older, you realized, I'm not sure about this. Yeah. And then you meet him and you're like, okay, well, maybe I am sure. Maybe I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah. During all of that, right? What actually... Truly, I know you said you fell in love, but what started shifting for you? Was it something genuinely about him that were you feeling a safety with him? What was it really about him that you were just so in? You were in from the beginning.
Sure.
What is it about
I think
your man?
It was just many different things.
Okay.
We just connected so well. Our conversation was so strong. My feelings for him, I just hadn't had this like romantic love for someone ever.
Okay.
That's why, and that's why, I gave up my virginity because it was all these different things. But it wasn't just that. I felt safe with him.
Yes.
And I'll say that coming from, seeing my family, my dad and his ex-wife now, but like seeing that, I just never felt like love was safe.
Yes.
And the thing is that what cinched it was when I went to Arizona to meet my husband's family.
Okay.
To meet his parents. His parents had been married their entire lives.
They have.
Like they were 19 and 21, like my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Except they stayed together. And they were still bickering, but so sweet and so genuine and just so
happy.
true. And I was like, people can stay in love forever. And they can be in love forever. It doesn't have to turn ugly. People don't have to cheat. People don't have to like do weird things and not be themselves. So it really showed me that was a possibility. And honestly, to this day, I say that my husband taught me how to love.
Yes.
He really did. And he loves me so well. Yeah.
No, this is why I'm thank you for saying that. This is why it's so important that we're saying that is because love is such a beautiful, wonderful gift, but it's something that we get to keep choosing.
Exactly.
Yeah, we get to keep choosing, because life is going to get hard.
Oh, yeah.
And we get to keep choosing the person that we love. That is truly agape. That's deep love. And when I talk to women that are single and I try to explain to them, there's signs and there's things that you need to look for, and you need to understand what it is that you really want and what kind of life you want with the person that you want to fall in love with. Yeah. But it's more than even that. It is a feeling. It's a safety. And I explain it all the time. I said, I can't explain it until you feel it. You will know. It's going to be a different feeling than just the typical, when you have that anxious, nervous feeling, something's off. That's not what I'm talking about. Those type of butterflies is not what it is. It's a excitement, but it's I just want to share everything with this person. I just want this person. I just have this vulnerability with this person. And that's why, I'm getting cheered. That's why I'm doing this podcast. I want women to get to understand that this type of love that you're talking about, I know we're going to get into a little more about, your relationship. I know there's no perfect, I get it. But you'll know. Talk about that.
Yeah. Choosing, like you said, choosing to love someone. I think that's the thing. You make that choice time and time again. Love changes. People change. You shift, you become different people to some extent. I've grown up with my husband.
Yes.
I met him when I was 21 and he was 25. We got married, I was 23, he was 27. We are not the same people we were when we first met. We are completely different, but we choose to be together.
Yes.
We choose to grow together. And we've had so many difficulties. We've had arguments, all the things.
Yes.
That's what life is about.
Yes.
But the thing is, when you go back to the same person, that's when the love is. That's the safety. That's all of it encompassed. So I definitely get that. And I just love that you're having this podcast because, I got teary-eyed just saying that because he taught me how to love. Like,
he taught you how to love. That's the safety. That's what we need to understand. You like you said, you didn't know how to love. You didn't experience that type of, love until you were able to be with him.
Exactly.
And that is why it's so important who we choose.
Exactly.
Who we choose to be our life partner. Because when you said earlier that love can be great, even though we can go through hard things, that is real.
Exactly.
That is real. And that's why I want to have these discussions, because I would say that the world and the media and all this, the noise is constantly, and I'm around relationship noise all the time, and all that's what I do for a living. But it is constantly poo-pooing on relationships and disempowering relationships and oh no, men and women are not going to get along, or no, women shouldn't do this, or men shouldn't do this, or we should. I'm like, no. There, it's a great love, and having your partner for life is so beautiful.
Exactly.
And it's possible. It's possible for anyone. It's possible for anyone.
Yeah.
So, okay. So now So now you go, you meet the family, and then that just, you're like, okay, now I'm really in love with him.
Yes. I was just like, how can we do this? What can we do to make this work?
What did you guys do?
So what we needed to do was for me to graduate from university, get my degree, and then get a job, and then apply for a stay here in America.
Okay.
So like a permanent resident card.
Okay.
So we were just like, we're going to be together.
Okay.
So there's only way, and the only way to do that is either me working in the US.
Yes.
Or us getting married.
Oh yeah, get married.
So that was
I was like, get married. Let's get married. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, we were
married. Yeah, we're doing that. Yeah, we're in love already. So let's go. So you get married pretty quick.
Yes. So we had a 2.5 year long distance relationship.
Okay.
So 2.5 years. Back and forth. So we were together, and then we got married.
So he was still here in Arizona.
Yeah, he's still.
And then you're in
London.
You're in London.
Yeah. So every 3 to 6 months, he'd fly over to England.
Okay.
Or I'd fly to Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a long distance relationship.
Yes, we did long distance, and it was the most toughest thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, girlfriend, how hard was that? How did you get through that?
Honestly, I don't even know. We broke up twice, but within 20 seconds, we twirl each other back and tell each other we loved each other.
Okay. Yeah. Because I can imagine.
Yeah. Literally.
All the emotions, and you're not having the day-to-day, you're not having the connections, but you guys kept going.
And every single day we spoke. Every day, even if it was 2 minutes because of this. And then on top of that, we had an 8-hour time difference. So when he was waking up, I was going to bed. When I was going to bed,
I didn't think
he was
about
waking
that.
up.
Yes.
So there was so many different things that were working against us.
Yes.
Different cultures. My husband's Italian, Danish. I'm African. Like Nigerian and African. So it's completely, he's American. I'm British, African.
Completely opposite.
So different. We look different. We were so different. But then our core values are very much the same. And we fell in love despite all these barriers, all these things that we felt kept trying to throw us away from each other. We found a way.
You found a way.
Yeah. So that's why our physical love, as much as it's amazing, like we have another level of love.
Yes.
Because we didn't even have that physical. We have another level.
Another, yes.
Yeah, he'll like look at me. Like there was an example. I had this weird guy follow me at the gym. My husband literally looked at me and then he just came. He goes, "What's wrong?" I was like, "This guy's following me." He goes, "Okay, I'll stand right here."
He knew.
He just knows.
He knows.
He knows instantly. Just like with me, I can read him and be like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Okay, this is happening." I'm like, that's the thing.
Yeah, he's your best friend, girlfriend. Yes, oh yeah, he's your person. That's what I told the couple yesterday. You know, they're engaged, and I said to them, I said, "It's literally like getting married to your best friend for the rest of your life. Your best friend lover for the rest of your life." Yeah, the lover. Yeah, the lover. Because we're not doing platonic. You know, we're talking about marriage here. But you get. They were just looking at me like, okay. he was all ready for that conversation. He's like, I said, we'll talk about, the details of that later on. And he was like, oh, okay. No, but it's true. It's true. Really? Yeah. So with your husband, I know he's your husband now. Yes. You ended up, 2 years and a half, you said? 2.5 years, okay. And then did you get married here in the States?
We got married in Arizona. Yeah.
You did?
Yes, we got married in Arizona. Funnily enough, the judge who married us in our actual ceremony, he did a ceremony because of immigration. So we got married twice.
You got married twice?
We got married for immigration June the 24th, and then we got married in front of our family November 11th. Okay. So we say it's 11/11/07. That's our marriage to our family, but really it's June 24th and 11/11.
And 11/11 because you actually have two.
Exactly. So we always laugh and say that if we got divorced, we get divorced twice. Yeah. But obviously not. But but we.
So you get married and then you move here to Arizona.
Yeah. Moved to Arizona for a whole year because I was a British citizen. Okay. I couldn't work.
Oh,
so I was just like trying to learn different things.
Go for what you were just like finding friends. But you were in love too, probably. Yes, trying to find friends.
Definitely. But it's hard in Arizona because no one literally walks anywhere because of the weather.
Yep.
And then on top of that, I'm starting again. I literally left my entire life, all my friends, my family in London, and I moved here for love. Literally.
You did. You moved here?
Only one person. Wow. So it was an adjustment.
That's
it was such a hard time, but the best time as well, because we learned a lot more that we didn't know about each other. Okay. Just like every daily thing, like farting and stuff like that. Yeah,
you're like, oh my God, you're like, he farts? Yes. Exactly. I didn't know they do that. Like, what is up with that?
Literally. Literally. So
Okay, so let's talk about that. So, because I know, can you just tell the listeners right now what you do for a living?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm a fashion stylist. I basically do help clients like shop and help them look and feel their best selves. I also do editorial work for magazines as well as television segments, and just right now just promoting different brands, doing digital creating. So,
she's downplaying it. She's a fashionista icon. I'm telling you. No, seriously. You are just wow. Okay. How did that play a part? Because now you're here and you're in love with the guy, but then reality's happening in the sense of like, oh, we got to get along with like, okay, like he's leaving things on the floor or, I know, right? Yeah. You're like, it was like, oh, okay, we have a little different style of living. Like, how are we going to I love you, but wow. What started happening? Those are the things that, the adjustment.
Of course, the adjustment.
The adjustments.
The clashes.
Yes.
Me, Bonnie and Scooby, I fold everything.
That's right. You're like Mrs. Perfect. He's like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, but literally, I fold stuff, I put it away, he leaves things on the floor. Yeah. And he puts the seat up. You knew so well. Yes, oh yeah. Yes. So it was definitely an adjustment and us basically speaking to each other. Okay. But at first just kind of like holding it back and then eventually blowing up. And then to the point that we're just like, and that's the thing, because of me being British, we're told not to say our emotions. Okay. If something happens, don't talk about it. Just keep going.
Oh, you just put it all in.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And that was my mentality.
That was your mentality.
But my husband, he tells everything. He tells me everything. I hear everything. And I was like, what the hell is this? Because he was so different to me.
Yes.
And I was just flabbergasted. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea that was the American culture, but
that was
I have
American
adopted
culture.
it over time because that's what you do. You adapt. And I have adapted and I love it.
You love it.
I love being open. I love like being transparent and telling people what's going on. I think it's so important because you kind of take that power back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what my husband taught me to do. And also this American society taught me to do.
Yes.
Before I would hide everything, I was diagnosed with like an autoimmune condition like 15 years ago. In fact, today's my diaversary, they call it.
Oh.
So I have type 1 diabetes, which is a hereditary condition. When I was diagnosed, I thought my world was ending because I was told I would have to have insulin because it was keeping me alive.
It was keeping you alive.
And when I was first diagnosed, I was so scared. I was almost suicidal.
Wow.
Because I was so scared. I didn't understand it. I didn't know. I was like, but I work out. And the doctor was like, no,
it doesn't matter.
Part of your DNA. You were born with this. Wow. But your body was in a honeymoon phase.
Okay.
But anyway, I've learned over time just to adjust and become more mindful. Now I partner with phenomenal diabetic brands. They pay me obscene amounts of money to like use their products, which are free to me, and to help educate and inform and advocate for people who are like me.
So you at first you were like, I don't even know what's going to happen here. This is depressing and everything like that. But you decided to like go through it.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like your whole life, this is what you've been doing.
Exactly.
You're like fearless. Like it seems like you just keep going through like from the beginning. I'm like, she's like, no, seriously. So you have, and with him then, like you said, you were able to obviously have a partner that allowed you to just bring out all of that in you. He gave you space.
Oh, space, support. Like everything I could possibly need. He was just there. He's always been there. And I call him my compass. Okay. Because I get lost so many times. And really, I even got lost in the parking lot. Yeah. Like, he is so good about helping navigate. And he knows me so well. And he just is so supportive and just there. He doesn't see me as competition. He doesn't think that I need to dumb myself down for others. In fact, I'll be like, do you think I should wear this? Is it too colorful? He goes, just wear that. He goes, you love it anyway. He's not threatened by that.
See, that's so important.
Yes.
Because that is so important we're talking about that. Because I'm telling, like your partner should be truly, genuinely your biggest cheerleader.
Exactly.
Your biggest cheerleader. Exactly. Something's off if they are jealous, competing, or they're not supporting you. You know, and even, they don't have to understand or do what you're doing, but supporting you is so important. So this man of yours, girlfriend. Wow.
Yes,
what's been your biggest challenge in your guys' relationship?
It's funny. So we go back and forth. It's mostly like they say, couples fight about the same thing. So of course it's money. Yep. And then because I style, so I basically shop for a living. So I shop for a living. You probably know. Yes.
That's awesome.
That's the thing.
I want to do what you're doing. I want to do what you're doing. Right. I want to shop for a living. That sounds amazing.
I know. Right.
Right now, right when you said that, I'm like, yeah, it's true. She does. Yeah. Okay.
So literally, that's what it is. So basically, what it is that I use my clients' money. But at the same time, I find amazing things for myself.
Yes, you do.
Like, oh my God. So that's the issue. It's like my husband's like, really, did you need that?
Did you need that?
Exactly. And I didn't. Yes. But I have 5 of them.
No,
already.
You're like, yes, I did.
Yes, exactly,
I did. I really don't. But yeah, okay, I do. I kind of do. Okay.
But
so it's the balance of the finances.
Exactly, finances.
And stuff
but
like that.
I love him because I was never taught about how to manage money. So he's taught me that because without him, I'd have all these shiny handbags, but we would have no lights on or a home. Yeah, so I'd be out on the streets with my shiny handbags.
Exactly. Like, but baby, we got my bags. Exactly. And you're like, but I look good.
Yes.
You look good too, babe. You look good.
There you go.
Yeah. We all look good.
So that's the constant battle. We fight about money.
Okay.
Because I'm spending too much.
Yeah.
And I need to spend less.
He's like, you guys spend less.
Exactly.
No, I'm not spending less.
But I work just as hard.
Yes.
And I, make sure I treat myself. But I just one for me or one for you. And
Yeah. No, the client, you get a couple, I get 5. We're good. You know. But then, okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So that's something you guys work out. It sounds like you guys probably have a lot of humor with each other.
Oh yeah.
Because you're funny.
All the time.
Is he funny
Oh,
too?
he's hilarious.
Okay.
And how he gets me and he'll make jokes about what I'm doing. And I just find it hilarious because we laugh at each other.
Okay,
we laugh at ourselves. I think it's so important because you can't take yourself too seriously. But at the same time, sometimes you either laugh or cry.
Yeah. You laugh or cry.
Me. Yeah, so much. And and that's the thing is about, all this wealth. Like my clients have wealth, but I don't.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not, you're like, but oh my goodness, but they do. And you're like, okay, yeah.
So that's what it is. He's like, you are not as wealthy as people. You cannot spend all this money on a bag that's like this small. But I'm just like, but it's beautiful.
Exactly.
Babe. So that's
but again, like that's what I love about this. Even though you're keeping it real, we're laughing and stuff. And I know you have the hard times. I know there's some times that you're like, oh no, babe, we're getting serious now. But the humor. Can we talk? Okay, for the listeners right now, and women are like, oh, wow, I want a relationship like that. Truly, as a woman, and if we're speaking to the single women right now, we're speaking to them right now, Yes. What do they need to look for? How do they know? How would they know if this man is right for them?
There's many different things. Honestly, I think that as women, we are built-in warriors. We all have warrior blood. So I think it's all about instinct, listening to that gut. Also watching him and him or her and how they treat other people as well as yourself. I think that's so important because if you're a dick, to a waiter or something like that, they're not going to be the nicest people. And you need someone who's also understanding of, your red and your whites or whatever, like in regards to like what triggers you. So I think that you just have to like go with your gut, also watch them and how they treat you. And also just kind of like, just pay attention.
Pay attention. And see, I love that because how they treat, that's really important. Because how they treat the people in their lives, their surroundings, how they talk about other people, how they talk about their family, how they talk about their friends, how they are with their family, how they are with their friends. That is going to say so much about that individual person.
Exactly.
And that is really important that you said that because you can have somebody, in the beginning show up a certain way for you. But that's not going to last so long if you give it a little time and you start watching how they're showing up with other people. Exactly. And if you can see them, like you said, having kindness, having empathy, having respect, having some humor, that's really them showing you their true selves. Exactly. That's truly showing them their true selves. So it seemed from the beginning with your man that he was like an open book. Like he was really just showing you who he was from the beginning. He's like the dancing from the very beginning, that said a lot because that showed you that he was a person that was open, funny, silly, and he was willing to just let go and be that way. I mean, I look back, I could see why that was very intriguing for you. Oh, yeah. And you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was used to British boys.
You're British boys. You guys are so serious.
Yes,
like so serious, Stockton, and you're like, no, we don't want to have that type of life. Exactly. So now you are with him. You're here for the year. How did your career, like how did you know to get into the fashion industry, or did it just kind of just start happening accidentally, or were you really pursuing it in that way? How did that happen?
Honestly, funnily enough, so the first year after I was granted my permanent resident card, I literally just wanted something to find friends with. So I went to the mall and I looked at retail stores. I worked at Everything But Water, which is like a swimwear brand, elevated swimwear brand. Okay. And then I started to notice like different like department stores because I always loved fashion. I always loved styling.
Yes.
But then what I was doing is that I was unfortunately being exposed to the wrong kind of women who were very materialistic, and I just felt like they didn't have the quality of people. I hadn't found my people yet.
You haven't found your people yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was settling for these petty ones who were just very like all about themselves. And I didn't realize that until eventually it started to come to place. But, so bottom line is that I did that for 2 years, worked at a swimwear store, and then I went to help out my husband for his company. I was helping him with his marketing. Okay. And then we realized after 3 years, if we wanted to stay married, we'd have to stop working together.
You have to stop right
Because we were just like, you are not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me. I'm not the boss of you.
Exactly.
Some couples can make it work and some couples not so much.
Exactly.
Yes.
And kudos to those couples that can, because that is like a different level.
Yes.
And I love my husband, but sometimes I do not like him very much. And I've told him this, and he said the same thing about me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's life, though.
That's a good marriage, actually.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm telling you. Just a lot of times you can love your man, but every once in a while you're like, I don't like you so much. But that's okay.
That's exactly
but then when you have a great marriage and you have real love, it works out.
Definitely.
Doesn't it work out?
Exactly.
What is life for you guys right now?
So right now we are just hustling.
Okay.
Yeah. My husband owns a printing and embroidery company. I'm doing television segments. I'm writing, stories for magazines. I'm also styling clients, and I'm going to all the events and doing all the things that are happening. And I'm traveling a lot more, which has been nice. So, and he traveled with me to Austin with my childhood friends who he's known as well since
that's fantastic.
He met me at my wedding. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So life is good right now.
Life is good. Yes.
Life is busy and good.
We're keeping busy. We're keeping healthy. We're taking care of each other. We're making sure we spend time together. We have a date night once a week.
That's fantastic.
So so we can actually spend quality time, and it's not.
So you make that happen.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
And it's not the date night where it's in front of the television.
Nope.
No, we are going out. We're going to go get dinner. We're going to sit opposite each other and talk.
Fantastic.
Yes. Or we're going to watch something like a play or something, but something that's outside of the house. That's what date night is. We started to play pickleball.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's been really fun. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you've been with him for 17 years.
17 years. We've been together total 20 years.
20 years.
We've been married for 17. It'll be 18 at the end of this year.
What is the key to a successful relationship? Seriously, because it seems like you guys are having a lot of fun.
It's so funny. I've heard that so many times, and I honestly think it's a mixture of many different things. Yeah. There's not just one thing.
Yep.
You just have to keep choosing that person.
Yes.
I think that's the main thing, to be honest with you, among, being mindful of them.
Yes.
And trying to make decisions that, that support them.
Yes.
But showing your love, but you just have to keep choosing them. And that's what it is, in growing together.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Cheers.
No, thank you. This has been amazing.
Oh,
you are amazing. Your story is incredible. It was so inspiring. I love your love story. Can women do it both? Can women have a great love story and also have great success?
Heck yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yes. You can. You can do everything.
Everything.
Yes, we were built in this world to do everything, and you deserve it.
Yes.
Yes, you deserve it.
We deserve it. Oh, we're gonna leave it on that. Okay. Cheers. Is there anything else that you want to say before I wrap this up?
All I would say is thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you. I was so excited. Oh my goodness. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. That was amazing. Okay, let me get this thing out. I know you're the pro here. Here, I'm going to give you this.
Cheers.
Okay. Oh, wow. Let me get this going here for just a second. Oh, this is so exciting.
Yay.
Okay, let me get here. How about I give you this one? We'll
Ooh,
shift.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
And then I'll take some right here.
Love that it says mum. That's the way we say mummy in England.
Oh, mum.
M-U-M, but no, M-U-M.
Mum. And you know what it is now here in the United States? Bruh. No, I'm not kidding you. When my kids were like, bruh. I'm like, what is bruh?
Oh my!
I was like, what's bruh? And they're like, bruh. I'm like, no, mom. Anyway, I'm just letting you know. Yeah,
I love it.
Bruh. I think it's like B-R-U-A. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so
B-R-U-H.
bruh.
Yeah. Bruh.
Okay. Anyway,
up, bruh?
no, mom.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers to great love.
Cheers to great love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Let's talk about the tip of the week, which is stop overthinking and start feeling. A woman's feminine energy is activated the moment she stops overthinking and starts feeling. When you get out of your head and into your body, you will move with confidence, intuition, and ease, because your feminine energy isn't about control. It's about flow. Your feminine energy is something that you don't force. It's something that you allow. The more you overthink, analyze, and try to control, the more disconnected you become. True magnetism happens when you relax into your body, trust your intuition, and move with ease. Let go of that mental noise and watch everything shift. If you would love to know more about how to shift into your feminine energy, I have a complimentary ebook called The Magnetic Woman. I highly recommend that you grab a copy. There are action steps and things that you can apply immediately and start shifting into your feminine energy and learn how to magnetize the desires of your heart. So just please make sure that you look in the show notes for the link. That's a wrap. Wow, what an incredible story Afi shared today, and all the obstacles and the hardships that she had to go through to truly create the life that she has now and with the man of her dreams. She's incredible. And what I love most about her story is that it doesn't matter what we've been through or what we have experienced, because great love is available for all of us. We just really need to believe that we are worthy and it's possible, because it is. Thank you, Afi, for sharing your incredible story. If you're loving these podcasts and these incredible conversations, please hit the subscribe button and leave a 5-star review. Don't miss an episode, because each week I'll be bringing on guests and experts who will share the knowledge about love, dating, and relationships so you can apply it into your own life. I'll see you next week. And until then, cheers to great love.